This story is designed to be slow, gentle, and uneventful. Nothing important will happen here. There is nothing you need to remember, imagine clearly, or follow closely. If you fall asleep, that is the best possible outcome. You can let your body rest now, allow your eyes to remain closed or softly unfocused. Let your breathing happen on its own without trying to change it. In and out at a pace that feels natural. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing waiting for you. This time belongs only to rest. Tonight the story begins in a place that feels ordinary. It is not a special place. It is not famous, meaningful, or important. It exists quietly without asking for attention. There is a wide, open stretch of land. The ground is flat and calm with no sharp edges or sudden changes. The colors here are soft and muted, blending gently into one another. The sky above is steady, not bright, not dark, just comfortably present. There are no dramatic clouds, no sudden movements. The sky holds still, as if it has nowhere else to be. On this land there is a simple structure. It was built long ago for a basic purpose that no longer matters. Now it simply stands. The structure does not shine, it does not crumble. It just exists quietly and reliably. Nearby there is a bed. The bed is plain and unremarkable. It was made to be comfortable, not impressive. The surface is soft enough to support rest, firm enough to feel secure. On the bed, someone is lying down. This person is not thinking about anything important. They are not planning. They are not remembering. Their body is at rest, supported fully by the bed beneath them. Their breathing is slow. Each breath moves gently through the body without effort. In and out. Nothing interrupts this rhythm. The room around the bed is quiet. There are no clocks ticking loudly, no screens glowing, no voices calling. The air feels steady and neutral, not too warm, not too cool. The person does not shift or fidget. There is no need to move. Time here feels different. It does not rush forward. It does not drag slowly. It simply continues moment by moment without pressure. You do not need to imagine this place clearly. A vague sense is enough. Soft shapes, muted colors, stillness. If thoughts come into your mind, they can pass through without stopping. They do not need to be solved. They do not need answers. The story does not require your attention. The person on the bed lets their shoulders sink slightly deeper, not because they try to relax, but because the body naturally releases what it no longer needs. The jaw softens, the brow smooths, the hands rest without tension. Breathing remains slow and steady. In, out. Nothing important happens. Outside the structure, the land remains unchanged. No footsteps approach, no doors open, no events begin. The world seems content to remain exactly as it is. Inside, the quiet continues. The bed supports the body evenly. There are no uncomfortable points, no need to adjust. The person feels heavy in a pleasant way, as if gravity has become gentle and kind. If sleep begins to approach, it does so quietly. There is no announcement, no signal, just a gradual fading of alertness. The mind does not need to hold on to the story. It can let go at any moment. Words continue to arrive slowly, but they do not demand understanding. They are simply sounds moving past, one after another. The room remains dim and calm. Nothing changes. Nothing needs to change. The person's breathing becomes slightly deeper now. The pauses between breaths stretch just a little longer. In, pause, out. This rhythm feels safe. The same is true for you. Whatever surface you are resting on is holding you without effort. You do not need to support yourself. The body knows how to rest. The mind is allowed to drift. Nothing important happens. The quiet remains unbroken. There is still no reason for anything to happen. The structure stands as it was. The bed stays where it is. The person continues to rest. Breathing moves gently, without effort. In and out. Each breath feels familiar, like something the body has done forever. The air in the room does not shift. There are no sudden sounds, no changes in temperature. Time continues to pass in the background, unnoticed. The person on the bed is no longer aware of the exact position of their body. Arms feel heavy. Legs feel distant. The sense of edges begins to soften. The mind does not try to follow thoughts anymore. If one appears, it dissolves before becoming clear. There's nothing to hold on to. Nothing important happens. The ceiling above the bed remains uninteresting. If there is light, it is dim and steady. If there are shadows, they do not move. The room does not invite curiosity. It encourages rest. The person's breathing slows just a little more. In, out. The pause between breaths lengthens naturally. The body trusts this moment. Outside, the land remains still. The sky does not change color. No wind passes through. The world seems content to wait. Inside, the person feels safe enough to let go further. Muscles that were holding on without reason begin to release. The neck loosens. The lower back settles. There is no discomfort to fix. No position to improve. Everything is already fine. Nothing important happens. The concept of direction fades. There is no forward or backward, just this moment, repeating softly. The mind may drift towards sleep now, or it may hover gently at the edge. Both are acceptable. There is no expectation. Words continue to flow slowly, evenly. They do not tell a story that needs remembering. They do not build toward anything. They simply pass by. The person on the bed does not react to the words. They do not listen closely. They do not resist. The sound becomes part of the background, like distant rain that never arrives. Breathing continues in, out. The chest rises and falls without effort. The heart beats quietly, steadily, without asking for attention. The room remains unchanged. The structure remains unchanged. The land remains unchanged. Nothing important happens. If sleep has already begun, the words will fade away. If not, they will continue to move slowly without urgency. There is no need to stay awake to hear them. The bed supports the body completely now. There is no sense of weight needing to be held. The person feels as if they are sinking gently, not falling, just settling. Thoughts have become soft and distant. They no longer form sentences. They appear as fragments and dissolve. The story does not react. It continues calmly. Time passes without being measured. The air feels steady. The temperature remains comfortable. Nothing changes. Nothing needs to change. The person's breathing has found its slowest, easiest rhythm. In, pause, out. Each breath feels reassuring. The mind does not question anything anymore. Awareness drifts. The edges of consciousness soften. The quiet deepens. Nothing important happens. This part continues gently, without urgency. Nothing new needs to happen. Nothing old needs to be remembered. The place remains calm. The structure is still standing quietly. The room is unchanged. The bed remains steady and supportive. The person resting on the bed is no longer aware of time in a clear way. Minutes do not matter here. Neither do hours. Breathing continues on its own. In, out. Each breath feels familiar, automatic and unforced. The body has no reason to stay alert. There are no sounds to react to, no movements to track. The mind is allowed to soften further. Thoughts, if they appear at all, arrive slowly and without shape. They do not form clear ideas. They do not ask questions. They simply fade. Nothing important happens. The room does not change its appearance. The light remains dim and gentle. Shadows do not move. The air feels stable and neutral. The person's arms feel heavy now, resting where they are. Hands are relaxed. Fingers are loose and still. The shoulders sink a little deeper into the bed, not because of effort, but because there is nothing left to hold. The neck feels supported. The head rests comfortably. Breathing remains slow. In, pause, out. The pause feels natural and safe. The body trusts this stillness. Outside the structure, the land remains quiet. No footsteps pass, no distant activity begins. The world has nothing planned. Inside, the sense of awareness begins to blur at the edges. The person no longer feels the need to follow the story. The words are just sound now, gentle and unimportant. The mind drifts without direction. Nothing important happens. The concept of effort disappears. There is no trying, no resisting, only resting. The bed continues to support the body evenly. There are no pressure points, no discomfort. The person feels settled, as if they have been here for a long time, as if this position was always meant to be. Breathing continues in, out. The rhythm is steady and calming. The chest rises and falls slowly. The belly softens with each exhale. The heart beats quietly, steady and unremarkable. There is nothing to listen for, nothing to anticipate. The room remains exactly the same. Nothing important happens. The mind may begin to slip in and out of brief moments of sleep. These moments do not need to be noticed. They come and go on their own. The boundary between being awake and asleep becomes less clear. The story does not change to mark this transition. It remains slow and uneventful. Words continue, but they are no longer important. The person's breathing deepens slightly again. In, pause, out. The pause stretches gently, without discomfort. The body feels safe enough to let go further. Muscles that were still holding faint tension release completely. The legs feel heavy and distant. The feet are relaxed. There is no sense of urgency anywhere. Nothing important happens. Time continues to pass unnoticed. The room stays quiet. The structure stays still. The land outside remains unchanged. Everything is calm. Everything is stable. The mind floats gently without effort, without focus. If sleep arrives fully, it does so quietly without announcement. If not, rest continues just the same. The story does not care either way. The calm continues without interruption. Nothing new arrives, nothing leaves. The room remains exactly as it was. Quiet, dim, undemanding. The person on the bed does not move. There is no need to adjust or shift. The body has already found the most comfortable position. Breathing flows steadily in, out. Each breath blends into the next, so similar that it is hard to tell where one ends and another begins. The mind is no longer interested in details. It does not look for meaning. It does not try to follow the words. The sound of the voice becomes part of the stillness, like a gentle hum that does not require attention. Nothing important happens. The feeling of time continues to soften. Seconds are no longer counted. Minutes lose their shape. The person may feel as though they are floating slightly or sinking gently, or simply resting in place. All of these sensations are normal. None of them need to be examined. The bed supports the body fully and evenly. There is no pressure to hold yourself up. Gravity feels kind and predictable. Breathing remains slow. In, pause, out. The pause feels natural and unforced. The body knows exactly how long it needs to be. The room does not react. It does not change. It does not respond. Outside, the land remains quiet and empty. No movement crosses the path. No sound breaks the stillness. The sky remains steady, without stars that need to be counted, without clouds that need to be watched. Everything remains ordinary. Nothing important happens. The person's awareness drifts further now. Thoughts no longer form clearly enough to be noticed. They dissolve before becoming words. The sense of the body becomes softer. Edges blur. Weight feels even and diffuse. Arms feel warm and heavy. Legs feel distant and relaxed. The face is smooth. The jaw hangs naturally. The tongue rests comfortably. There is no tension anywhere. Breathing continues in, out. Each breath is quiet and reassuring. The heart beats steadily without asking for attention. The story does not move toward a conclusion. It does not build. It does not resolve. It simply continues, slow and uneventful. Nothing important happens. If the mind drifts completely into sleep, the words will pass unheard. If the mind hovers gently, the words will remain soft and uninteresting. Both are perfectly fine. The room remains dim. The light does not change. The bed remains still. The structure remains silent. The world seems to have paused, not frozen, just resting. The person on the bed is deeply relaxed now. There is no sense of effort left anywhere in the body. Breathing is at its slowest and easiest. In, pause, out. The pause feels long and comfortable. The mind no longer tries to stay present. Awareness drifts without direction. Nothing important happens. The repetition is intentional. The sameness is soothing. The body feels safe enough to let go completely. Sleep may already be here, or it may be very close. There is no need to check. The story continues quietly, without change, without demand. The calm remains. The stillness deepens. Nothing important happens. Nothing needs to reset. Nothing needs to begin again. The calm simply continues. The place remains as it was. The room is still. The bed remains steady and supportive. The person resting here is deeply relaxed now. So relaxed that awareness comes and goes without effort. Breathing continues on its own. In, out. Each breath is slow, soft and familiar. There is no need to listen closely. The words are not instructions, they are just sound. The body understands that it is safe. The shoulders remain loose. The arms rest heavily. The hands do not move. The legs feel warm and distant, as if they belong to the bed more than to the body. Nothing important happens. The room does not change its shape. The light does not shift. The air remains neutral and calm. There is no smell that needs noticing, no sound that needs identifying. The person's face remains soft and relaxed. The jaw hangs naturally. The brow is smooth. Breathing deepens slightly again. In, pause, out. The pause feels longer now, comfortable and unforced. The heart beats slowly and steadily, doing its work quietly in the background. The mind no longer tries to hold on to thoughts. If a thought appears, it fades before becoming clear. Awareness drifts like something floating on still water. Nothing important happens. Time has lost its meaning here. There is no sense of how long the person has been resting. There is no curiosity about how long it will continue. The story does not care about time. The bed continues to support the body evenly. There are no pressure points. No need to move. The body feels settled, as if it has always been in this position. Breathing continues in, out. The rhythm is steady and reassuring. Outside the structure, the world remains quiet. No movement appears. No activity begins. Inside, the calm deepens naturally. The words become softer in the mind, less distinct, less necessary. The person does not follow sentences anymore, they simply rest. Nothing important happens. The boundary between wakefulness and sleep becomes thinner. Awareness drifts in and out without resistance. There's no moment where sleep must begin. It arrives gradually, or it does not, and both are fine. The room remains unchanged, the bed remains still. The air remains steady. The repetition continues. Breathing remains slow. In, pause, out. The pause stretches gently as long as it needs to be. The body trusts this rhythm completely. There is no effort left anywhere. The story continues quietly, without moving toward anything. Nothing important happens. There is no clear beginning here. The calm simply continues, as if it was never interrupted. The body remains still, heavy, supported, at rest. Breathing flows gently, without effort, without control. In, out. Each breath feels familiar, as if it has been happening this way forever. The chest rises slowly, the chest falls slowly. Nothing needs attention. The mind does not need to understand anything anymore. The words are only sound, soft sound, passing sound. The room stays quiet. The bed stays steady. The temperature remains comfortable and neutral. Nothing important happens. The body sinks just a little deeper into the bed, not because it moves, but because it lets go. The shoulders feel loose and wide. The neck feels long and supported. The head rests fully, without tension, without weight. Breathing remains slow. In, pause, out. The pause after the inhale feels calm and safe. There is no rush to exhale. The heart continues its steady rhythm, quiet, reliable, background. The mind drifts further away from clear thoughts. If a thought appears, it fades before forming words. Awareness becomes blurry, soft around the edges. Nothing important happens. The arms rest wherever they are. The hands feel warm, heavy, still. The fingers do not move. They do not need to. The legs feel distant, as if they are no longer being actively sensed. The feet feel relaxed and neutral. Breathing continues in, out. The sound of the words becomes less distinct now. They blend together gently. The meaning does not matter. The body understands rest. The body understands sleep. The room does not change. The background stays white, empty, and calm like a blank page that stays blank. Nothing enters the space. Nothing leaves it. Nothing important happens. Time stretches, seconds feel wide, minutes feel soft. There is no reason to track anything. The body sinks further into comfort, without moving, without adjusting. Muscles release in small, unnoticed ways. The jaw remains relaxed. The tongue rests naturally. The eyes remain closed, heavy behind the lids. Breathing remains slow and deep. In, pause, out. Each exhale releases something small, something unnecessary. The space between thoughts grows longer. Silence becomes comfortable. The story continues, but it does not go anywhere. Nothing important happens. Awareness floats like something resting on still water. There is no edge, there is no direction, just rest. The body feels safe here, completely safe. No alarms, no urgency. The bed continues to support everything evenly. The air remains calm. The sound remains steady. Breathing continues on its own. In, out. The pause feels natural, as if the body is deciding how long it wants it to be. Sleep presses gently from all sides without force. There is no moment where sleep must arrive. It simply becomes more present. The mind does not resist. Nothing important happens. The words become quieter inside the mind. They drift like distant noise. The body listens without effort. The calm deepens. The stillness remains. Everything stays exactly as it is. There is no need to follow anything now. Everything is already happening on its own. The body continues resting exactly where it is, exactly how it is. Nothing needs to be changed. Breathing remains slow, steady, automatic. In, out. Each breath feels softer than the one before, not because it changes, but because attention fades. The bed feels wide and gentle. It holds the body evenly, without pressure, without gaps. The back feels supported along its entire length. The shoulders remain loose, spread gently, heavy. The neck feels calm and neutral. Nothing important happens. The face is relaxed. The forehead is smooth. The eyes rest quietly behind closed lids. Breathing continues. In, pause, out. The pause feels long and comfortable. There is no need to count. Time does not matter here. The mind drifts further into quiet. Thoughts no longer finish themselves. They dissolve halfway like mist in still air. Nothing important happens. The arms feel distant now, as if they belong to the bed more than the body. The hands rest naturally, warm, still. The fingers feel heavy and calm. The legs feel loose and relaxed. The knees soften. The calves rest deeply. The feet feel neutral, neither warm nor cool, just there. Breathing remains gentle. In, out. The sound of the words blends into a soft background layer, like distant wind or quiet rain. The meaning does not matter. The tone is enough. The body recognizes this sound as safe. Sleep grows closer without being announced. Nothing important happens. Awareness feels wide and unfocused. There is no center of attention. Everything feels equally unimportant. The room stays silent and unchanged. The white background remains empty, clean, still. Nothing appears, nothing disappears. The body sinks slightly deeper, without movement, without effort. Muscles let go quietly, one small release at a time. The jaw remains loose. The tongue rests comfortably. Breathing stays slow. In, pause, out. Each exhale feels like setting something down. There is nothing to pick back up. The heart beats calmly, steady and reliable. It does not ask for attention. Nothing important happens. The mind becomes softer, rounder, less defined. Words inside the mind stretch and blur. Silence feels safe and familiar. The calm deepens. There is no boundary between resting and sleeping now. The body already knows what to do. Nothing needs instruction. The bed continues holding everything gently. The air remains still. The sound remains quiet. Breathing continues in, out. The pause feels longer now, as if the body enjoys it. Sleep spreads evenly like warmth under a blanket. There is no rush, no moment to notice. Nothing important happens. The body feels heavy in the best way. The mind feels far away. Everything stays exactly as it is. There is nothing you need to understand now, nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to imagine. Everything is already quiet. The body continues resting without effort, without intention. Breathing moves in its own slow rhythm. In, out. Each breath feels ordinary, and that ordinariness feels calming. Nothing important happens. The bed remains steady beneath the body, unchanging, supportive. It does not ask anything from you. The body does not respond to anything. It simply stays. The shoulders feel wide and loose. They sink slightly deeper. The arms feel heavier than before, as if gravity has increased gently. The hands remain still, warm, unbothered. Breathing continues in, pause, out. The pause between breaths stretches comfortably without being forced. The chest rises just enough, then settles back down. The stomach remains soft and calm. Nothing tightens, nothing moves, nothing important happens. The neck feels supported, the head rests naturally. The face remains smooth and relaxed. The eyes stay closed, quiet, uninterested. The mind does not hold on to thoughts now. Thoughts appear faintly, then fade before forming. They do not complete themselves, they dissolve quietly. The sound of these words becomes softer, more distant, less defined. Meaning is no longer necessary. Only the gentle rhythm matters. Breathing remains slow. In, out. The legs feel relaxed and heavy. The thighs rest fully. The knees soften. The lower legs sink gently. The feet feel neutral, barely noticeable. Everything feels evenly balanced. Nothing important happens. The body feels slightly farther away, as if awareness is drifting backward. There is no edge, no sharp focus. Everything feels wide and blurry. Time stretches thin, moments blend together. There is no before or after, only now, and even that feels faint. Breathing continues in, pause, out. Each exhale feels longer, like releasing a small weight. Nothing returns with the inhale. The body does not need energy now, it only needs rest. The heart beats quietly, slow and steady. It does not demand attention. The mind feels empty but not alert. It feels heavy and dim, like a room with the lights turned low. Nothing important happens. The bed feels warmer, the air feels still. The room is unchanged. Nothing enters, nothing leaves. The sound remains gentle and steady. Awareness drifts deeper, without direction. There is no need to follow anything. Sleep begins to settle more firmly. Not suddenly, not clearly. Just gradually, softly. The body accepts it naturally. Breathing remains calm. In, out. The pause grows longer. The body feels safe. The mind feels distant. Everything stays exactly as it is. Nothing important happens. Nothing needs to change now. Nothing needs to happen. Everything is already slow. The body remains exactly where it is. Breathing continues without effort. In, out. Each breath feels distant, like it belongs to someone else. The chest moves gently, almost unnoticed. The body feels heavier than before, not uncomfortable, just settled. The weight feels correct. The bed supports everything evenly. No pressure points, no tension. Nothing important happens. The mind does not look for thoughts. Thoughts drift by quietly without forming words, without meaning. They pass like faint shadows, then disappear. There is no curiosity about them. There is no interest. Breathing stays slow. In, pause, out. The pause feels longer now, comfortable, safe. The shoulders sink deeper, the arms feel loose as if they are melting slightly. The hands remain still, warm and relaxed. The fingers do not move. The neck stays supported. The head feels stable, balanced. The jaw remains soft. The tongue rests naturally. Nothing tightens, nothing reacts, nothing important happens. The sound of these words feels further away, as if coming from another room. You do not need to listen carefully. You do not need to follow. The sound can simply exist. The body does not respond. The mind does not analyze. Everything slows more. Breathing continues in, out. The stomach remains calm. No rising, no falling, just stillness. The lower back rests fully. The hips feel grounded. The legs feel heavy, as if gently pressed into the bed. The knees soften. The feet feel distant, almost forgotten. The toes remain relaxed. There's no movement anywhere, only the quiet rhythm of breathing. Time loses shape. Seconds stretch. Minutes dissolve. There is no need to keep track. Nothing important happens. The mind begins to drift further inward. Awareness feels dimmer. Edges fade. Everything feels softer and less defined, like a picture slowly blurring. Breathing stays slow, in, pause, out. Each exhale releases more awareness. Each inhale brings nothing new. The heart beats quietly, steady and calm. It does not need attention. It works on its own. The body trusts it. The mind feels distant from the body now, as if floating just behind it. There is no effort to hold position, no effort to relax. Everything happens naturally. Sleep becomes heavier, not sudden, not noticeable, just deeper. The room feels far away. The bed feels warm. The air feels still. Nothing changes, nothing enters, nothing leaves, nothing important happens. The sound continues softly. Words lose clarity. Meaning fades. Only tone, only rhythm remains. Breathing continues. In, out. The pause between breaths stretches longer. The body feels safe inside that pause. Thoughts no longer form. Images no longer appear. There is only blank calm, like a quiet space with nothing inside. The mind does not search, it does not wait, it simply rests. Sleep settles deeper, deeper, deeper still. Everything remains gentle, everything remains slow. Nothing important happens. Nothing changes, nothing needs attention. Everything continues exactly as it is. The body remains still. The bed holds the body gently. There is no effort anywhere. Breathing happens on its own. In, out. Each breath feels slower than before, as if time itself is moving less. The pause between breaths feels long, comfortable, safe. The chest rises just a little, then falls, softly, quietly. The shoulders sink deeper into rest. They feel heavy but not tense, just supported. The arms feel loose and distant, almost as if they are no longer attached. The elbows rest, the forearms relax. The hands remain open. The fingers stay still. Nothing moves, nothing reacts, nothing important happens. The neck remains supported. The head feels balanced. The jaw stays loose. The face feels smooth and calm. The eyelids feel heavy, very heavy. They do not want to move. They do not want to open. They rest naturally. The eyes remain still behind them. No images, no light, only darkness and calm. Breathing continues in, pause, out. The sound of the breath fades. It becomes quieter, more distant, almost unnoticeable. The stomach stays relaxed, no tightness, no movement. The lower back sinks gently. The hips feel wide and settled. The legs feel warm and heavy, as if they are slowly sinking into the bed. The knees soften completely. The calves feel loose. The feet rest naturally. The toes do not move. There is no reason to move them. There is no signal. The body feels complete, still, resting. Nothing important happens. The mind begins to slow even more. Thoughts do not finish. They do not even begin. If a thought tries to form, it fades immediately, like a sound that never becomes loud enough. Awareness feels dim, dull, soft. The edges of attention blur. The sense of the room disappears. There is only the feeling of rest. Breathing stays slow in, out. The pause stretches longer, long enough to forget about the next breath, long enough to feel suspended, floating, safe. The heart beats quietly, steady. It does not need awareness. It does not need control. It knows what to do. The body trusts it. The mind lets go. Sleep becomes heavier, deeper, thicker, like sinking into warm water. The sound of words becomes distant. They feel like a background hum. Not something to listen to, just something that exists. Meaning fades. Only rhythm remains. Only calm remains. Nothing important happens. Time stops feeling real. Minutes blend together. There is no past. There is no next. Only this stillness. Only this slow breathing in, pause, out. Each exhale releases more awareness. Each inhale brings nothing new. The body feels completely supported. There is no effort to stay awake, no effort to sleep. Sleep happens naturally. The mind drifts further away, like floating deeper underwater. Sounds feel muffled, thoughts disappear. The body remains motionless, comfortable, safe. The feeling of weight increases slightly. Pleasant, grounding. The bed feels warm, the air feels still. Nothing changes, nothing interrupts, nothing important happens. The darkness feels soft, not empty, just quiet. The mind rests inside it. Breathing continues, slow, gentle, automatic, in, out. The pause becomes the most comfortable place. The body stays there longer, long enough to forget breathing exists. Sleep deepens, further down. Awareness fades almost completely. Only calm remains, only rest. Nothing important happens. Nothing happens, nothing changes, everything stays exactly the same. The body does not move. The bed holds the body quietly. Breathing continues without effort. In, out. The breath is very slow now, so slow that it barely feels like breathing. The pause between breaths feels long, very long, comfortable, safe. There is no need to hurry, there is no need to think. The chest rises slightly, then slowly falls. The arms feel distant, almost forgotten. They rest without awareness. The hands are still. The fingers do not exist anymore. There is no signal reaching them. The neck stays loose. The head feels perfectly balanced. The jaw hangs naturally. The face has no expression, no tension, no effort. The eyelids feel sealed shut, heavy, warm, still. The eyes behind them do not move. No images appear, no light, only darkness, soft darkness. The mind floats inside it. Breathing remains slow. In, pause, out. Each exhale releases even more awareness. Each inhale brings calm, nothing else. The stomach stays soft. The lower back remains supported. The hips sink gently. The legs feel very heavy now, as if they are made of stone. Warm stone, comfortable stone. The knees are loose. The calves are relaxed. The feet rest completely. The toes do not move. They have nothing to do. The body feels finished. There is nothing left to relax. Everything is already relaxed. Nothing important happens. The mind becomes quieter. Thoughts no longer form sentences. They appear as fragments, then disappear. Before meaning, before awareness, silence grows thicker, deeper. The sound of words fades. They become part of the background, like distant air, like nothing. Time stretches. It does not move forward. It does not move backward. It simply disappears. There is no sense of waiting. There is no sense of now. Only rest exists. Breathing continues in, out. The pause feels endless. The body stays inside it, floating, suspended. The heart beats softly, slow, steady. It does not ask for attention. It does not need control. It works quietly, perfectly. Sleep deepens further. The body feels heavier, more grounded. The bed feels softer. The edges of the body blur. It becomes hard to tell where the body ends and where the bed begins. Everything blends, safe, calm, still. Nothing important happens. Awareness dims like a light, slowly turning off, not suddenly, gradually, gently. The mind lets go. There is no effort to stay awake. There is no effort to sleep. Sleep happens naturally, automatically. The sound of breathing becomes barely noticeable. In, out. Even that feels distant. The pause holds everything. Thoughts stop completely. There is no inner voice, no images, no memory. Only a deep, quiet nothing, comfortable nothing. The body does not move. The room does not exist. Time does not exist. Only rest, only sleep. Nothing important happens. The darkness feels thick, supportive, like being wrapped, protected. The mind sinks deeper, further, almost gone. Breathing continues somewhere far away. The body stays completely still. Sleep becomes very deep now, heavy, stable, unbroken. Nothing changes, nothing interrupts, nothing matters, nothing important happens. Nothing happens. Nothing needs to happen. Everything is already done. The body is completely still. There is no movement, no adjustment, no urge. Breathing continues on its own. In, out. The breath is so slow now that it feels like it might stop. But it does not. It stays gentle, quiet, automatic. The pause after each breath feels long, very long, comfortable. The mind rests inside the pause. No thought enters, no thought leaves. There are no thoughts, only space. The body feels heavy, very heavy, as if gravity has increased, but it feels good, safe, grounded. The bed supports everything. The head sinks perfectly. The neck stays loose. The jaw hangs naturally. The tongue rests. The face has melted. No muscles hold any tension. The eyelids are sealed. There is no effort to keep them closed. They simply stay closed. The eyes behind them are still. No dreams yet, just darkness. Soft darkness. The kind of darkness that feels warm. The shoulders sink deeper. They drop further than before. The arms feel far away, almost like they are not attached anymore. The hands do not exist. The fingers are gone. No sensation remains there. The chest rises gently, falls slowly. The heart beats quietly, steady, unnoticed. The stomach stays calm, soft, still. The lower body feels extremely heavy. The hips melt into the bed. The legs sink. The knees loosen completely. The calves relax. The feet feel warm, heavy, still. The toes disappear from awareness. The body has finished relaxing. There is nothing left to release, nothing left to adjust, nothing left to do. The mind lets go further. Awareness fades like sound moving farther away, like light dimming. Thoughts do not return. Even fragments do not appear. There is only silence, deep silence. Breathing continues somewhere far away. In, out. The pause becomes the main space. Long, quiet, empty, safe. Time stops meaning anything. There is no counting, no sense of duration. Minutes do not exist. Seconds do not exist. Only rest, only stillness. The body feels deep, heavy, warm, protected. The edges of the body blur more. There is no clear boundary. Everything blends together. The bed, the body, the darkness, all become one. Nothing important happens. Sleep deepens, further, deeper. The mind sinks, slowly, effortlessly. There is no falling, no drifting, just sinking. The sound of words becomes background noise, almost nothing. The brain stops processing meaning. Only rhythm remains, slow, flat, even. Breathing remains steady. The pause holds everything. The heart continues without awareness. The body continues without command. Everything works perfectly on its own. You do not need to be here. You do not need to listen. Sleep takes over completely. Heavier, still, unmoving. No dreams yet. Just deep rest. Dark, quiet, endless. Nothing changes, nothing interrupts, nothing matters. Nothing important happens. Nothing is being held now. Nothing needs attention. Awareness has softened, almost gone. Breathing continues somewhere far away, in, out. The breath is so light that it barely touches awareness. The pause after the breath feels endless. There is no urge to breathe. The body knows, it always knows. The mind no longer checks anything. There is no checking, no listening, no waiting. The body feels extremely distant, as if it belongs to another place, another time, another person. The sense of me has faded. There is no label, no identity, just quiet existence. The bed holds everything perfectly. No pressure points remain. No discomfort exists. The body has settled into its final position, completely still. completely safe. The face is blank, no expression. The mouth slightly open, the jaw loose, the tongue resting heavy. The eyes are deep inside darkness. No movement behind them, no flicker, no dream yet. Just black, soft black, warm black. The shoulders are no longer felt. The arms have disappeared. The hands are gone. There is no sensation there. The chest rises, falls, so slowly, so gently. The heart beats softly. It does not ask for attention. The stomach is calm. No hunger, no tension, no awareness. The lower body is heavy like stone. The legs sink deeper. The feet feel warm and distant. The toes no longer exist in the mind. The entire body feels unified. One heavy, peaceful mass. The edges are completely blurred. There is no clear boundary between body and bed, between breath and air, between sound and silence. Everything merges, nothing separates. Thought does not return, memory does not return, planning does not return. The mind has let go fully. There is no effort to stay asleep. Sleep has taken over, naturally, completely. The sound of words no longer forms meaning. They pass through, without landing. The brain no longer translates language. Only rhythm remains, slow, even, flat, like distant waves, like wind far away. The pause after each breath stretches longer, so long, so calm, so empty. This pause is where sleep deepens. This pause holds rest. This pause holds safety. Time dissolves here. There is no before. There is no after. Only now. And even now fades. Awareness sinks further. There is no bottom. No falling sensation. Just deeper stillness. The body continues perfectly on its own. Breathing, heartbeat, temperature. Everything works without thought. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to listen. You do not need to be aware. Sleep protects you. Sleep holds you. Nothing interrupts. Nothing matters. Nothing important happens. Darkness remains. Quiet remains. Stillness remains. Sleep becomes heavier, deeper, more complete. The mind rests fully. The body rests fully. Everything rests. Nothing moves. Nothing changes. Nothing needs to change. There is no effort now, no direction, no listening, no understanding. The sound of words exists, but meaning does not. The mind no longer forms images, no scenes, no memories, just soft, empty darkness. The body is completely still, not because it is forced, because it has settled. The muscles are loose, the joints are open, there is no tightness anywhere. The breath is shallow, so light it feels imaginary. The pause after each breath lasts longer than the breath itself. The heart beats slowly, evenly, quietly. There is no emotion attached to it, no awareness of time. Seconds do not exist, minutes do not exist. There is no counting, there is no expectation. The sense of I has dissolved. There is no observer, no thinker, no listener, just being. And even that fades. The boundary between body and space disappears. The bed, the air, the room all blend into one soft field. There is no temperature, only comfort. No sound stands out, no silence stands out. Everything is neutral, everything is calm. The mind does not wander, it cannot wander. There is nothing to wander toward. Thought has shut down. Language has shut down. Logic has shut down. Only the nervous system remains, resting, resetting, healing. The body enters its deepest repair mode. Cells slow down, muscles release. The brain moves into slow waves, very slow, very deep. This is the place where sleep becomes complete. No dreams yet, no images, just deep, dreamless rest. The body knows this place well. It visits every night when nothing interrupts. Here, sleep is thick, heavy, protective, like a warm blanket over everything. Breathing continues automatically, heartbeat continues automatically. You do not need to help, you do not need to notice. Awareness keeps sinking. There is no edge, no bottom, just more stillness, more darkness, more quiet. The body is safe. The mind is off. Nothing can disturb this state. No outside sound matters. No internal signal matters. Sleep holds everything. Sleep does not let go. Time passes without being noticed. The night continues without awareness. Rest deepens further. This is the core of sleep, the deepest layer. Nothing exists here, and that is perfect. Stay here. Sink further. Disappear into rest. There is nothing to focus on, nothing to release, nothing to remember. The body is already asleep. The mind is already quiet. Only a faint awareness remains, and even that is fading. Breathing is barely noticeable, a soft movement. In, out. The pause is long, so long it feels like time has stopped. The chest rises gently, falls gently, without effort, without attention. The heart beats slow and steady, like a distant echo. The body feels extremely heavy, as if gravity has increased. The bed supports everything perfectly. No adjustment is needed, no movement happens. The face is relaxed, the forehead smooth, the eyes completely still. No thoughts pass, no images appear. Dreams have not begun. This is the space between waking and dreaming, between awareness and nothing. The nervous system is fully calm. Signals are minimal. The brain is in deep waves, slow, very slow. The sound of words passes by without being processed, like wind through an empty room. The meaning dissolves before forming. Nothing sticks, nothing stays. Awareness keeps sinking. There is no direction, no falling, just deeper rest. The sense of body fades further. Hands no longer exist. Feet no longer exist. Even the center of the body dissolves. There is no boundary, no inside, no outside, just quiet, just darkness, just rest. The breath pauses again, long, comfortable, safe. The body does not panic. It trusts this state. It has done this many times before. The mind does not return. It cannot return. There is nothing to return to. Sleep is complete, thick, protective, undisturbed. Time passes unnoticed. The night moves forward without awareness. Rest deepens naturally. Everything slows, everything settles, everything disappears into sleep. Stay here. Nothing changes, nothing needs to change. Nothing new begins here. Nothing ends. Everything continues exactly as it is. The body is completely asleep now, not drifting, not falling, already there. Muscles are fully relaxed, even the small muscles, even the ones you never think about. The jaw is loose, the tongue rests softly, the shoulders are heavy, the arms feel distant, the hands are warm and forgotten. The legs sink deeper into the bed, the feet are still. There is no urge to move, no signal asking for attention. Breathing continues on its own, very shallow, very slow, almost silent. Each breath blends into the next. There is no clear start, no clear end, just a soft rhythm. The heart beats quietly. Even that sound is far away now, like something happening in another room. The mind does not react, it does not label, it does not follow. Thoughts do not appear. Images do not appear. Dreams are delayed. This is the deep, resting layer before dreams begin. The brain is quiet. Signals are minimal. Waves are slow, very slow. The body is repairing itself. Cells resting. Systems resetting. Nothing is required from you. Awareness is thin, like mist. It does not hold shape. It does not stay in one place. It fades in and out. Sometimes it is there, sometimes it is gone. And when it is gone, sleep becomes even deeper. Time no longer exists. There is no sense of how long this has been. There is no curiosity. There is no waiting. The body is safe. The environment is safe. Nothing will interrupt. No sound feels important. No sensation feels sharp. Everything is dull, soft, neutral. The bed holds you completely. The air feels still. Even if there are sounds, they do not register. They pass through. The mind does not wake up to check. It stays off. It stays resting. The sense of self is absent. There is no center, no edge, no position, just rest. Deep, heavy, comfortable. The breath pauses again, long, comfortable. There is no need to breathe faster. The body knows exactly what it is doing. Trust is complete. Control is gone. Sleep is in charge now. Nothing pulls you back. Nothing brings you up. Everything sinks further, deeper, slower, quieter. The night continues. The body remains still. The mind remains dark. Rest holds everything together. There is nothing else. Stay here. Remain here. Nothing changes. Nothing needs to. There is nothing to do now. Nothing to listen for. Nothing to follow. Sleep has already taken over. The body is completely still. So still that even the idea of movement feels distant. The mind is empty, not blank, just quiet. Thoughts do not form. They do not start. They do not finish. They simply do not appear. Breathing continues, slow, soft, automatic. Each breath is lighter than the one before. The chest barely moves. The stomach rises gently and falls back into rest. The heartbeat is calm, steady, almost unnoticeable. It does not ask for attention. It does not need awareness. Everything inside the body is working silently, perfectly. The muscles are fully relaxed. There is no tension anywhere. Not in the face, not in the neck, not in the back, not in the legs. Every muscle has let go. Every joint feels loose, heavy, supported. The bed feels like part of you now. There is no boundary between body and surface. Everything blends together. The room fades. The sense that you are here fades. There is no position, no direction, no sense of up or down, only rest, deep, endless. The mind stays off. It does not check time. It does not wonder. It does not listen anymore. Sound becomes texture, then disappears. Awareness becomes thin, then fades, then returns slightly, then fades again. Each time it fades, sleep becomes deeper. This is the lowest layer, the quietest place, the safest place. Nothing reaches here. No memory, no worry, no plan, no past, no future, only now. And even now is barely there. The body trusts sleep completely. There is no resistance, no effort, no holding. Letting go is complete. Breath slows again, pauses gently, returns softly, pauses again. The pauses are comfortable. They feel natural. They feel right. The nervous system is calm. The brain is resting. Dreams may begin, or they may not. It does not matter. Sleep remains deep either way. There is no difference. Everything stays slow. Everything stays quiet. Everything stays dull. The night continues on its own. You do not have to be part of it. Sleep carries you, holds you, keeps you there. Nothing will change suddenly. Nothing will wake you. Nothing will pull you out. This rest continues, long, deep, unbroken. And even as words fade, sleep remains. Even as sound ends, sleep remains. Even without anything else, sleep remains. Stay here. Remain here. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more will happen. Just sleep. Deep sleep.